Paddy, a great project with the potential in time to provide a major boost to tourism in the west of Ireland. But just to clear up a few things at the outside, this is not a new road, so would you explain how it works on the Atlantic Way?
It's an existing road. We're using the roads that exist along the west coast. I suppose the big idea for the project is that at the moment there are about 35 separate driving routes along the west coast, only 3 of which cross the county boundary. So they're all very small, very few of which, if any, bar maybe the Ring of Kerry, have any visibility overseas. So this is about creating something of scale and singularity that will be visible in overseas markets. That's the big idea behind it, really.
Tremendous. And Fáilte Ireland have engaged in an extensive consultation programme with communities along the proposed route. How have those consultations gone, and what sort of issues are emerging, either positive or negative?
Very positive. We've had 15 public consultation sessions between November and December on the proposed route. We've been working with the local authorities and the leader groups, Uthas McGrath at the Western Development Commission, on 4 regional steering groups, and they've been working with us on identifying where the Wide Atlantic Way should go. The idea behind it, if it's called the Wide Atlantic Way, it needs to deliver on that brand. So it's essentially a coastal route, and we try and hug the coast as much as possible. Not always possible in some places, so we've had to pull it back a little bit just because of the quality of road. Because while we want it to be as close to the coast as possible, we also have to make sure we put visitors on roads that are safe and sound.
Of course.
So the consultation, we invited written consultations. We also had 15 meetings. We had 400 written submissions into us, and we're currently analysing those. Generally very, very positive. And there'll be a few tweaks here and there. Sure.
And given the length, my goodness, people will be surprised that we're talking about roughly 2,000 kilometres. It's unlikely that anyone is ever going to do the whole route and just from one end to the other. But what plans do you have to theme the various segments of the route, or do you have plans?
We have some plans emerging at the moment. What we've been concentrating on so far is developing the proposition around it, developing the brand identity, and developing and identifying the route. And that's the work that's been ongoing in the last 6 months or so. We have a whole year and a half of work yet to do, because we're sort of aiming towards middle of 2014, March, April 2014 for launch of this. But the themes that can be packaged around it are endless, really. I mean, there's
varied. I presume you would want to have different themes for different segments.
And different. And I suppose, it is 2,000 kilometres, and it's unlikely people will do it in one go. As such is the device maybe to attract people back for a second visit. I think like the Camino walk in northern Spain and southern France, and that's something that people do over 2 or 3 trips. And hopefully this will be a similar incentive. Well, I also want to get across the idea that not everywhere along the way is the same. So with a single overarching brand, we want to accentuate the distinctive characteristics.
Yes, very important. And well, a great deal of work has still to be done, Paddy, and of course you're very dependent on buy-in and cooperation of the county councils. 12 in all are involved. And how's that working out? You're getting good cooperation from them?
Working out very well. We pitched the idea almost a year ago to the 12 county managers, and they immediately bit on it and said, it's something that we want to be involved in. So we've had great cooperation so far, and they're key partners in delivering it, because a lot of part of the next stage is putting the signage up along the route to make sure it's legible and it's easily navigable. So we're depending heavily on the local authorities for that kind of work.
And your timescale, March 2014, it'll hardly be totally complete. Isn't this the sort of project that'll be forever being
it'll be forever being improved. There are a number of things that are critical to launch. 3 elements in particular. One is the directional signage has to be in place. All the marketing collateral has to be in place, so the apps, maps, brochures, website, all of that has to be there, so the visitor can plug into it and understand it. And then the trade engagement. So there's a huge amount of work that we have with this year in talking to trade along the way, getting them on board with it and selling Great Atlantic Way experiences as well. And so those 3 key elements are critical to launch. We've also identified what we call discovery points along the route, which are at the moment number about 150 to 160. And these are places where visitors can stop off. They're viewing points, lay-bys, rest areas, and we need to develop those. Now that will be a much longer development, probably over 10 or 15 years.
That's terrific, Paddy. And I suppose the marketing is coming together with Tourism Ireland and yourselves at the moment. It's probably early stages, but it will require a great international launch, because it's a fabulous new product, something we have to talk about and get on
Yeah, we've been working very, very closely with Tourism Ireland. They've been on board since the very outset of the project. They're on the project steering group, and they're already looking at how this can be positioned and sold to particular segments of overseas markets. Yeah. And they're working very, very positively with us. And we hope to be able to give a little taster of what the route is likely to be like at Mathews this year.
Super. Well, listen, the very best of luck with that, Paddy. I think it's one of the most exciting projects that's emerged in a very long time in Irish tourism, and it's natural, it has a long life, it can change, it can evolve and develop over the years. So well done on the work so far, and best of luck for a great conclusion.
Great, thanks, man.
The edge of the old world, the last frontier of the new. There is a place where you can escape to a raw, unspoiled beauty. A place steeped in a proud history with a people as real as the land they live in. It's a place like no other. It's the west coast of Ireland.